I just got back from this 2 minutes. So what we're going to talk about is the real deal. Yeah, you can make it too. I think in a Palooza, something serious, very, very serious.
Right now.
Are you going to, Tracy?
I don't know.
I mean, it literally just happened. That's what I'm saying, and it happened 2 minutes ago. Yes, Joe. We had to run and there'll still be. She I can trust. How old is she now? Almost 5. Mine just turned 3. What does she look like? Not you. Oh, wow. Top of that? Okay, there. Not like I only know she's going. So are you exhausted? Okay. I have to ask you that. No, I'm not. I know you are. Listen, I'm still there. And then I have one with Starbucks. It's not good. It's too much. And then I thought, are we going to accept it? That's what I had to do. Right? That's why I do what I can do is kind of without saying something. Right. Well, you tell us what you well, this is the reason we're having this. Right. Point blank. Yeah. Ooh, that was too ironic. Where is the right here? We have 15 minutes. I have to so then I just minimize make it yes. Yes. Or is it 2:15? Yes. All right. Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me without the microphone? No? All right. Good afternoon and happy Friday for real this time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It really is Friday. Okay. There are snacks over there at some point in time. Please feel free to help yourself.
To get started, just to have something happy to do on Friday that's not so intense, you all should have bingo cards on your tables. And there are actually prizes for this. So the first top 5 people will get prizes. What you're gonna do, you're gonna have to get up, go talk to people, and find the people who match whatever on the bingo card. But wait, not yet. So for instance, guys, can I be quiet for a minute, please? Then you can talk. So for instance, you gotta find someone who has an older sibling and get their initials. Find someone who's allergic to peanuts, get their initials. And you know how bingo's down, across, or what do you call it, diagonally? The first 5 people will get a prize. So you have 10 minutes. It is now 10:17. You have till 2:27.
Yeah, if it's so I sign it.
Oh, I think it's gonna win. You initial the other person's. Yeah, you initial the other person's. So if the other person has siblings, they write their initials. Yeah, 1 per, yeah. Can't have 1 person do 5. One person per box, yeah. Hey, Fit. Fit. How do I get it? I need to get up a picture for my email.
Your email or her email?
Mine. Send it to me.
Birmingham email?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're just now coming in, get a bingo card. We're playing bingo for another 9 minutes. And we have prizes.
This one? Is it this one?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is on campus?
Yeah.
Just now?
Yep.
That's real.
No, it's not.
No? Wow.
Painted.
We get the painted part, like the orange.
They're good.
So anyway, what we do is, just grab this. Oh, hold on, hold on.
That's scary. If I want to show people. See if I want to show people.
I see you do.
That's true.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, no. Yeah, no. We're going to wait till after Melissa starts.
Because it's a pending situation. The investigation's happening as we speak. So I can't answer to conclusive things, but they can see that I was just called to that 2 minutes ago.
Emphasize, this is why you need to have a
And
good relationship.
this was not planned. This just happened. So I think it's a great.
Just after bingo?
Yeah.
Go hang out for a few minutes. Let's do that. Lower. You're looking for try? You want to try? You want to try? Hello.
4. All right, we have 4 winners. Is there one more? All right, we have 5 winners. So you can. Good job.
I wanted that.
I'm gonna join you.
Just one row, yeah.
Yeah, we already got 5 winners. Lorena, I already have 5 winners. I already have winners. I have 5. You just found this on campus with a student. Do you think I should share that with the faculty? Is that too?
Yeah, I mean, that's our,
Yeah, okay.
it's the perfect time.
Okay, do you think it would traumatize anybody? Oh my God. Okay, okay. Perfect.
Hi, sweetheart, how are you? Here today. I know.
Oh, but you got to do 5 winners.
What's this, we didn't announce
I did, but I was paying attention.
I mean,
What? What mean?
two famous people, Jermaine.
Two what?
Two famous people, Jermaine.
I don't know what the Jermaine means, I don't know. Unless somebody, unless it's in a type, it's probably a type. Well, the administrators made it, but somebody else typed it, and I don't know why that's a good gift. Just the pictures I sent you. It's right here. I don't want them to see it though. The boss.
Did it get started by people? You got you killed.
You know what?
What grade level is
Oh no, we already got people. I announced it, nobody paid attention.
There's already a winner for bingo.
We already have 5.
Who are the winners?
I'm gonna tell them. No. But I was giving them their time. I'm gonna show it to you. 5 in a row. Is that too? But I'm not gonna. 5 in a row? 5 minutes. It's already won. I called them. There was 5. They already won. I called and you guys kept talking. I'm sorry. What time is it? High five. Hug. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your enthusiasm. We do have 5 winners. Who was our first place winner? Mr. Bina, can you stand up and show them what you won? Who was the second? Yeah, give her a hand. Who was the second place winner? Mr. Coleman won the hat. Who was number 3? Water bottle, and we have water stations. Number 4, Mrs. Obeloy. And number 5 was Miss Kono, and she won a seat cushion. All right, we're going to get started with our presentation. This presentation is about working with at-risk or difficult students, because I think that's a problem that we all face. And I think that sometimes we don't know what our kids are going through. So as deans and as psychologists, we face this every day, but we realize that you guys don't have the same knowledge that we have. So we just want to share it with you and give you some tips on what you can do to kind of help the situation. Did you want to say something? No? Okay. All right, we're going to start with Melissa.
Okay, should I use a mic or can you guys hear me? Yeah. Mic? Mic? Okay. Huh? No? Yes? Okay, if you can't hear me, just raise your hand and I'll use a mic. I mean, usually I don't need to use a mic. Okay, so today we're talking. You're very funny, Dr. Simpson. I can't hear you. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the at-risk population of students at our school. They are everywhere among us. You may not know, or you may know some of them or what they've been through. Oftentimes, we have mental health issues and discipline issues that are, 2 in 1. And so I'm going to be talking about the discipline end. And then Miss Lorena Vega, she's our school social worker. You may have spoken to her. Maybe I'll put a name to the face today. And our school psychologist, Dr. Sandy Harwin, she will also be talking, and they will be taking care of the mental health aspect of this presentation. Something happened literally 2 minutes before I had to be here. And I thought, how ironic. So I want to show you what I just came from before I got to this room. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so I can't answer questions in regards to this scenario because this just happened. I left my office with 5 minutes to go down to where this was, and the other deans and our school police officer and everybody is tending to the situation, but I literally got called to my office in the last 5 minutes to go deal with this and then to come here and present. So this is why we're having this conversation today. Okay, we do have drugs on our campus, we do have weapons on our campus. Thank God it's not very often, okay, but we do. And so ultimately, we all need to be aware of everything, and that's what this is all about, okay? So, yeah.
Okay, I just want to say, too, this is why it's so important for you guys to have relationships with your kids. Some kids came and told us this. They went to Joe and told him, kids will tell you if you have a good relationship with them. I mean, thank God this is not a real gun, it's just an air gun, but suppose it was. You want that kid to tell you that somebody's got something. Oh, yeah. It looks real.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Painted. Can everybody hear me?
It's real, but it's not. It is an air pistol that looks like a real gun. Mr. Maury, thank goodness, he's well versed in handling weapons. And, you have to understand that our lives are on the line. Okay, so, first thing is to be very, very careful. You don't want a gun to go off. You don't want a student to grab the knife. I mean, there's a lot of safety risks for us deans who are dealing with this. When I saw that this was in the backpack and Mr. Maury pulled it out, the first thing I said is be careful, okay? But I trust him, and I've worked with him for over a decade to know that he's very well versed in how to manage these things. He determined it to be an air pistol, and so it is a real gun. It just doesn't pack bullets, okay? So I don't know what exactly after that, because I had to run here and talk to all of you about it. But we just now put this in the presentation because I just now came from that, okay?
Can I piggyback?
Yeah.
Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah.
So if you're familiar, what you don't notice on the end of this is an orange tip that would designate a toy. Now you're in your classroom, even with an orange tip. You see this, what's your first reaction? It's real gun. Real gun. Now you know the dilemma of some of my personal relatives and our law enforcement officers. I need to tell you, this type of toy BB gun, pretty damn powerful when you put a CO2 cartridge in the mix, and it shoots the speed of that BB, not nearly as strong as a .22 caliber bullet, but it will hurt somebody. This type of a weapon, I had students shot and killed over in the city of Stockton. It's near and dear to me, and I fear that damn thing because we're talking about a kid that doesn't have the capacity to think what and police officers' reaction is going to be, what your reaction is going to be, what their peers, it's immediate fear. Now, I'm just going to tell you, we don't always share with you. I would have shared this with you. but it happened so fast, we're doing that now. So I want to back up the truck for just a minute to tell you, this year alone, we've seen a 300% increase, well, 200% confirmed, possibly another expulsion case tomorrow. We haven't had an expulsion in 3 years. This year alone, we've had 2. One for distribution of narcotics and possession of narcotic paraphernalia. The kid was putting joints together and selling them over at the bus to and from school and making money. He had like $200-300 in his pocket, plus everything necessary to smoke it and or manufacture it. The other kid had a 4-inch locking buck knife. I use one of those when I'm hunting. I use it when I eviscerate animals that I've just harvested so that I can eat them. Serious knife. A locking blade means it's not going to move. When you lock that, it becomes a serious weapon. It also, in the hands of a minor kid that says, I'm carrying it for my protection, means somebody or that kid has rationalized, I'll use it because I think my life's at risk. So you don't want to see a young person, an old person, anybody in a situation where they feel like their life is at risk, they got to carry a knife. Does that happen on campus? No. Generally speaking, that kid and the one that's going to the board tomorrow, who also had a 4-inch locking blade knife, what that means is that kid too is rationalizing, I think my safety is so at risk in my neighborhood or to and from school, I'm going to carry a knife with me. And if I have to, I'll use it. The fact that we haven't had that in the last 4 years is the fact that we've always been checking, just like we're checking this year. But our psychologists, our social workers can tell you a lot is spinning up here in kids' heads. We have pet team responses to the school over and over with psychoses and suicidal thoughts, and you name it. And then into this mix, what happened a week ago, the election. And you got kids spiraling and going in 100 directions, just like I had 40 of you respond to my email and say, thank you for addressing this somewhat, Mr. Parks, about the anxieties created by that election. And it was so polarizing, all of this stuff is flashing. I don't know enough about this incident, and I'm taking too much time, but I have had not 1, but 3 kids that went to my school killed because they were carrying an airsoft BB gun that looked just like that or worse. So we take it damn serious. And we're not always going to tell you, but if we think that you're at risk or we need your help because the word is going on the street, these kids are going to come to you. Take every one of those statements as being real until our security team or I prove it isn't. Because we can't take the chance that it isn't. So, I'm done.
Every instance where there's even a remote question of a weapon on this campus, the team goes and investigates thoroughly, okay? And it puts that student also on our radar, which is very important. Not in a bad way, but just for an awareness. And the team and the deans are, really good at knowing who's who and what's what around here. What's happening in our offices all day long is very different than what's happening in your classroom. If you're in your classroom, you're doing your thing, and there's just a lot of intensity going on and a lot of things that need to be, have our awareness too. So this is about building relationships with students. It's very, very important. It will help ultimately with all of our safety and with the students' safety and their well-being, which is really important. Go ahead, you can flip the second one. Okay, so there are 2 types of at-risk students, and oftentimes they're one and the same. You have the student who's at risk of not graduating high school because they've had a long history of discipline issues, okay? And the other one is considered to be at risk of hurting themselves, most of the time due to adverse childhood experiences, which then leads to mental health issues. I had a student a week ago, not even, in fetal position in a nurse's office. I watched him on the quad today, looking like every other kid out there, okay? So there's so much going on behind the scenes that you just wouldn't know about because you're teaching, right? Okay?
And oftentimes the student who has a discipline history is, also the same student who might have some mental health issues, okay? So these are our at-risk populations. Go ahead. Okay, here's just a little bit of data. In the discipline area, last year we had 34 suspensions and 0 expulsions. We are obviously always trying to minimize our suspension rates and expulsion rates. We had 0 expulsions last year. That was great. This year, to the present time, we've had 21 suspensions and 2 expulsions. It depends what violations are. It depends circumstances, how these numbers go, but we're always trying to keep in mind to try to intervene and do what we can before we are just, off to suspension and definitely with expulsion. In the mental health area, last year, 2015-16, there was 268 mental health referrals in total. There was 35 suicide or self-injury evaluations, and out of those, 7 students were hospitalized. Up until now, we've had 63 mental health referrals, 7 suicide and self-injury evaluations, and 3 students were hospitalized. So this is happening, okay? All right, go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the discipline, the at-risk student in the discipline area who is considered to be a discipline problem, basically. General signs of a discipline problem is poor attendance. I know that you all come to me oftentimes with various concerns. Attendance is definitely one of them. If a student has poor attendance, ticky-tack attendance, they're missing full days, they miss class periods, you look at their attendance, it's all over the place. Definite sign of a discipline problem. They have a discipline record. They've had a discipline record in middle school. They've had a discipline record in elementary school. So these are repeat offenders oftentimes. They're defiant, they're disruptive, they may have drug or alcohol abuse, they have a bad attitude, they're unmotivated, they don't seem to care about consequences, they're unmoved. You tell them, you're going to do this, do that, and they're like, cool, okay? So that's definitely a sign. Trouble getting in touch with a parent. Many of you have spoken to me. I can't get in touch with a parent. The wrong number, wrong email, definitely sign of a discipline issue. History of being on probation. History of Department and Child Family Services involvement. They failed to fulfill middle school requirements. One of the first questions I ask students when I don't know them is, did you finish middle school? Did you fulfill your requirements? It's a very, very important, pointed question. Low grades and credits, or they're gang affiliated or family members are gang affiliated. We have many students and our gang situation is very on the low here, okay? That's because we address them if they're looking in the gang attire, if they're doing something called recruiting, if we can tell that their demeanor is in a certain way, they're starting to move in certain fashions. We know all the signs and we get to them, we keep it on the low. But that doesn't mean that we don't have students who are affiliated here at the school, because we do. And many, many students actually, well not many, but enough students where their family members are gang affiliated. Their family members for generations have been in gangs, okay? So that is here on campus also. Okay, so I just want to share some things what not to do when you're dealing with this particular student. This is the student that is unmoved. This is the student who's failing your class. This is the student who you tell them to do something and they're like, whatever. The referral student essentially, okay? First of all, exposing a student's personal information is a violation of the Federal Education Rights Privacy Act, FERPA, which is mandatory by law. We as educators cannot expose a student's personal information, such as, I know you're on probation. I know that Department of Child Family Services has been in your life, okay? That's not to say you couldn't have a confidential conversation with a student where you're talking with just that student. But to have this information put out where anybody else can hear it is a violation of this act, okay, which is mandatory by law. Don't try to pass the power if you can help it. I'm a dean. My job is to support you, period, okay? I do this in all sorts of ways. My whole objective is to make your life easier, to get that student to not disrupt your class, okay? My first job is to try to help that student and get that student in a place where they will perform academically. If they decide not to do that, then I tell them they have one job. Don't bother you, okay? Because I tell them, I'm the protector of a learning environment. I will do what I have to do to make sure you do not disrupt this classroom. The best thing to do is to try to not pass the buck to me, but it's my job. I don't ever want any of you to feel like I don't want to give this report to the dean that's assigned to you. But the best thing for you to do is to try to pull some tactics with this student yourself to build that relationship so that you keep the power. You have the respect and you're returning that respect. Because ultimately it's going to pay off for you in the long run much, much better. Okay? But everything aside, if you need to refer a student out, then you refer a student out. Okay? Don't expect that they already know how to act and what you expect. Okay? I tell parents all day long. I tell parents kids are suspended. And they sit on the phone. Okay? Hi, so-and-so, this is Ms. Reesport, the Dean of Birmingham High School. I'm calling to let you know that your child is suspended from school for 1 day for such and such and such. Silence. So I just sit silent. And they go, hello? And I go, uh-huh. Did you hear what I just said? Okay? And so the thing is these parents, or I'll tell them something, and they're like, muchas gracias, or thank you very much. It's like, thank you very much, I just told you your kid's in trouble. So, the struggles that you run into or that you're frustrated with, it's all day long in my office. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay? Because I'm going to say something to the parent. Okay? I'm not just going to say thank you, gracias, have a nice day. I'm going to say, did you hear what I said? Okay? Because what happened is unacceptable. We're not doing that in this school. But, a big problem is sometimes we think that these kids come from a place where they've been taught manners. They've been taught how to act. They're 15, 16, 17. They should know, right? Well, they don't, because nobody's guiding them. Okay? Nobody is guiding them. It's my belief that kids are a product of their environment for the most part. The kids in my office I deal with don't have anybody. They don't. Okay? And we are their family here, basically trying to teach them, guide them, and turn around 15, 16, 17 years of conditioning. Good luck to me. Okay? But my whole thing is just be good in their class. Okay? But I'll tell you this, many times, I'm not doing it. No, this, that, and the other. Do it for me. Okay, Miss Reese, I'll do it for you. Why do they say that to me? Okay? Because I take the time with them, and it matters, and it makes a difference, and it makes your life easier, and that's the truth of it. Okay? So please don't expect that they already know how to act and what you expect. Don't turn refusing to do classwork into an argument discipline issue. Unmotivated kids and not doing classwork is not a discipline issue. It's a fail. Okay? Many times, teachers will get into it with a student about getting their work done. Okay? I was an intervention teacher. The kids that are in my office were in my classroom, and I had great success. And this is how it would go. Good morning, so-and-so, you do your work today? Nah. Okay, cool. Let me know if you feel like you change your mind. Okay? Next morning. Good morning, so-and-so, you gonna do your work today? Nah. Okay, cool. Let me know if you change your mind. I'm your teacher. I really want you to be successful. So the minute you decide to turn that around, I'm right here for you, okay? Okay? You gonna do your work today? Nah. Okay, cool. Okay? I would give FEEs. You don't do a darn thing, but you're not a problem. You sit there quietly all day long. Or AUUs. You're a great student academically. You are the biggest pain in the butt I've ever met. Okay? So, it's not about getting into an argument with an unmotivated kid. Chances are this at-risk student has not seen academic success in many years. I will ask students, did you finish middle school or fulfill the requirements? No. Well, how were your grades in 8th grade? Not good. How were they in 7th grade? Not good. When was the last time you did well in school? I don't remember. But yet they get to another teacher's classroom in high school and we're like, do your work, get out a piece of paper, don't read this. They're like, I haven't done that in like 10 years. Okay? So understand that it's about inspiration with this student. It is not about an argument when it comes to doing work. Okay? That's what a fail is for. And I would say, I'm so sorry I have to fail you. Here's your F. Okay? That's it. All right? Okay, don't be aggressive. It's very hard when our adrenaline gets going. Kids are mouthy. They run their mouths. They do this. They do that. And our adrenaline gets going. It's a natural thing. But if you can help it, try not to be aggressive in any form or fashion with this student. It will only escalate problems. Don't take their behavior personally. Listen, I've had kids like, F you, Ms. Reese. Okay, cool. You're suspended. Put that in the paperwork. Okay? It's not about you. They're taking it out. Okay? It's not about any of us. Okay? And it can't be taken personally. If I took personally things that were said in my office, no student would like me. Okay? They tell me things, F this, F that, while I'm suspending them. Okay, writing that, keep talking. I'm just typing it up in your paperwork. It doesn't bother me. Okay? That's not to say that I don't correct them when they're calm and say, that is unacceptable. okay? You don't do that, and we have that conversation when they can hear you. So it's not about any of us. Just remember that. Don't engage in an argument. Many times I'll tell a kid, they'll go nuts. I'm suspending them, go, wah, okay, I need you to sit down. Okay, breathing. You breathe? You breathing? Typing. Blah, 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 blah.
Thank you very much.
Typing. Blah, 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 blah. Typing. I'm not gonna engage in that with them. Okay? So one way you can get any type of argumentative situation to stop is stop talking yourself. You know? And then they have nothing to argue with, and eventually it will die down a lot sooner. Okay? Never chase after a student. Please don't ever chase after a student. I don't chase after students. We don't need to chase after students. It's not safe. You don't know what's going to happen. What are you going to do when you catch them? Right? We have cameras. That's our job. We investigate. My favorite line is, I won't chase after you. I'll just see you around the next corner. Okay? I know who you are, and I'm going to find you. And we will find them. We do a really good job in the dean's office of finding them. Okay? And using our camera system. Don't say get out without giving clear instructions. I get this a lot. You know, just get out. Can't stand you. Okay? You know, it's no problem if you want to get out of your face. Okay? But you know, you have to be very specific, especially with discipline issue kids. Okay? So some examples. I need you to sit right here outside, and I will come back and get you when you've cooled down. Do not move from this spot. Okay? Then they're right where you need to be, you know, it covers you, and they have been told exactly what to do by you. They're very, very clear, okay? I need you to go directly to your SLC office, okay? I need you to go directly to the PVA office. I will be making sure that you got there, all right? I need you to sit here for now, moving a seat, for example. I need you to sit here for now, and we can talk about what happened after class to try to fix it. Notice what I did at the end. I'm punishing you, but I want you to know that I'm going to work with you to fix that. And I'm going to hear you out, okay? And you're going to hear me out too, because that's called respect, okay? So just clear instructions when it comes to setting a student out, or if you want them out of your classroom because you want to look at their face for a minute or something like that. Just very, very clear instructions, okay? Okay, tips to manage behavioral issues. Ask questions, get to know them, build a rapport. Blah, blah, blah. You've all heard that one. Okay, well, here's the deal. I get a student in my office, and I ask them a string of questions. So, were you born here? Okay. Have you been going to Birmingham since 9th grade? Did you finish middle